Greetings everyone, this is Seven from London, coming at you with another video, just to say hi and update everybody of what's happening. Yeah, I just also want to say thank you to everybody who's been participating in the hashtag campaign, everybody who's been sharing my videos, watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, and joining the initiatives that we've put forward in order to get free from the beast. Yeah, that's what it's about right now. It's about us getting free from an evil system that is run by an evil cartel. So today I want to flag up something that is really important for everybody to see and know about. The main thing that I want to bring to your attention at the moment, there's quite a few things, I want to update you on the campaign. But as well as updating you on the campaign, as anticipated, well, let me say this before I go into it. If you watched my last video, in fact my last two videos, I flagged up, or even my last three videos actually, but one of them was taken down by YouTube. I flagged up that there were trolls all over the internet, sort of trying to infiltrate into the hashtag campaign, and also, over social media, spreading absolute lies, about me in order to smear me. And what's happened is the troll that actually did that, or possibly it wasn't a troll, it was actually one of the criminals in my case. This is what I now believe. Because this person that I'm going to bring to your attention is a serial identity fraud. In fact, when I was invited to the meeting where all this nightmare started for me in 2003, this person actually used another identity. And I'm going to show you all the information about it, because he is going around social media and Twitter to try to smear my name. He's called me a liar, etc. This is how desperate these people are. And this is how effective the campaign has been, because had we not been effective, he wouldn't feel the need, the desperate need to actually go around writing lies. He's written lies on Alfred Weber's page. He's written lies on my Twitter page. I think what's happened is they've employed these agents and trolls to go around spreading lies behind people's backs and pitting people one against each other. And in this instance, it hasn't worked. And that's why there's an important thing when you deal with people with love and you deal with people with respect. You get the same respect back. Not always. I dealt with these people with respect. I'm a loving person, but for 15 years they have terrorized me, and not only terrorized me, they've terrorized you, they've terrorized the whole world. Now, one of the main psychopaths in my case has gone over Twitter and he's called me a liar, and I'm going to show you what he's written, and it's a joke, it's laughable. This man didn't show up to court. This is a person who didn't show up to court, where there's so much evidence of what he's done. He's now coming out of the woodwork 15 years after, not 15 years after the case, because the case was, I lodged the case in 2004, on the 5th of August 2004. And instead of actually responding to the case, he got a crooked lawyer, Charles Russell's, to send me death threats. Okay, this is how he responded. These people tried to kill me, and they've gone around actually causing mayhem and destruction. And because the truth is coming to the surface, because the thing is, you can't bribe the whole world. You could bribe the judges, you could bribe the court system, you can bribe the court staff, You could bribe people all along the path. But when it comes to the court of public opinion, they got no control of that. So the only thing that they can do is write a whole lot of lies to try to smear the person, which is called defamation of character. Okay? Now, obviously, they recognize that I'm perceived as credible because evidence doesn't lie. You know, you don't have as much evidence as I have and it be a lie. Okay? I don't have time for lies. I don't have time for liars. Okay, so let me just flag up this particular character so that you can see who the deep state is. You can see for yourself the person, one of the people who is working alongside people like Murdoch, with Helen Alexander, you know, and Richard Branson. Richard Branson, you know, you've allowed yourself to get embroiled in something with psychopathic people. You had a good name out there. A lot of people respected you. And you put yourself in a situation with people that, quite frankly, don't deserve it. You don't need to go down with these people. These people are going down. Okay, they've done heinous crimes against humanity, which you know they've done. Okay, you know what's happened to me. Okay, many of you people have got my money in your bank account. Okay, and you think it's a joke. It's not a joke. You don't do what you've done to someone like me and think you're going to just get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. So I'm asking you, Richard Branson, to credit and pay my money. You wasn't there when they stole my works, but obviously you know what's happened to me and is happening to me, okay? So I'm asking you, do not become embroiled with these people, okay? And every single person in the media who's aware of what is being done to me. My family have been burnt in a tower, okay? Right? My mother's dead, my father is dead, my friends are dead, okay? That is a serious situation. We're talking about 7/7 bombings, okay? We're talking about Charlie Hebdo, the shooting of John Charles Menendez. You do not need to go down with the people who have engineered all of this to keep the proceeds of crime in their bank accounts. You don't need to be part of it, okay? I'm asking all of you who are members of the media, who are aware of what is being done to me, okay? Because everybody in the media knows about this. They know about this for a long time, but because these people have stolen so much money, they are in control of mainstream media, so mainstream media is not going to report. But I'm saying to you people in the mainstream in media, okay, those of you who would like to do it, it's in your best interest to do so, because there are people being murdered in evil, wicked ways, just like what happened in Grenfell Tower, okay? What is happening to me and the targeting of literally thousands and millions of people globally by this crime ring is totally, absolutely criminal, and you know that, okay? So I'm asking you, okay, we're not going to stop our hashtag campaign until you recognize that to treat people in the way I've been treated, or any of the people out there have been treated, is totally out of order. It is criminal, okay? You do not need to go down with these people, okay? Right. The other thing is, if they've compromised you in some way and you've had to participate for your own safety in horrific crimes, and that goes for you, Mr. Branson, and everybody else, if you feel that you've been compromised and you're afraid of these psychopaths, what you need to do is you need to tell your truth. You need to tell your own story so that people know what's happening. Okay, because it's not acceptable for you to think that it's acceptable for me or anybody else to live with the kind of atrocities and evil that you've subjected us to. Okay, 15 years of horror I'm talking about, and you know I have 15 years of evidence. Okay, courtroom audios doesn't lie. Okay, now this psychopath, his name is Richard J. Hanna. He's been writing all stuff all over the internet. Now your beef is with whoever messed you up as a child, as a young man. I don't know who those people are, but it's got nothing to do with me. You've brought your poison into my life and stalked me, gang stalked me for 15 years so that you can get away with stealing my intellectual property. Okay, now I want you to sit down when you're on your own and think about it. If this was me doing this to you, would you have accepted what you've done to me and everybody out there? Would you accept it to be done to you? No, you would not. Okay? Do not go around spreading lies because you're making yourself look like a fool. On top of your crimes, you're making yourself look like a fool. Okay? There is evidence. People are not blind. Okay? If you think writing lies into Twitter and calling me a liar is going to substantiate the fact or cover your back, it's not going to work. You have to start to recognize that what you've done to me and other people is out of order, okay? And you have to bring it to an end. All that money you've stolen and you've got not one wise person who will give you wise advice and say what you're doing to these people is wrong, okay? I don't know what's turned you into the monster you've become. Tell your truth. Tell your truth. Confession is good for the soul. Tell your truth. Because right now, I'm going to tell the truth and I'm going to shame the devil. Okay? I'm a child of God. I'm the child of the Most High God. You are a child of the Most High God. And you think you can come along and enslave me. You've chosen Satan over God. That's your business. That's nothing to do with me. I'm not in your life. I want you out of my life. Remove your surveillance from where I'm staying. Stop putting key safe gadgets outside my door, okay, wherever I go. I don't want you to do that anymore. You need to credit, pay, and apologize for 15 years of horrors. You need to explain, what have you done to my mother? What did you do to my father? What did you do to my friends? Why did you kill those people in 7/7 bombings? Why did you kill John Charles Menendez? Why did you kill the people in Grenfell Tower? Why did you do Charlie Hebdo? Tell your truth, okay? Tell your truth, because I'm going to tell my truth. You are not going to go around, however much of an evil monster you want to be perceived as. I don't have the time to get into your stuff. That's your stuff. I don't do people's fear. It's greater to be loved in this life than to be feared. Okay? Going around spreading lies is not going to change what you've done and all of your criming. It's time to bring it to a close. It's time to recognize that you cannot abuse people, violate people, massacre people because of something that obviously must have happened to you either as a child or as a young man. I don't know what your issue is, but it's got nothing to do with me. Okay? I don't want you in my life. Stop stalking me. Stop gang stalking me. Stop following me. Stop putting surveillance around me. Stop hacking my machines to steal more of my property. I'm not your slave. I am not your slave. Alright? You had the opportunity to come to court. You didn't show up. Okay? Instead you thought you could murder me. But I'm a child of the Most High God. Your answer to everything is to murder people and terrorize people. Okay? And think that it's your bully boy tactics is going to get you off what you've done to people. It's not. It's not going to get you off nothing. You've done the crime. Now you do the time. It's time to credit and pay me. I want all of you people in the media who know what has been done to me. I want you to apologize and insist that these criminals be removed. Okay? You do not need to live in the world that they're trying to create. They're trying to create a hell zone for everybody, and they have done. For 15 years, these people have created carnage. So I'm going to show you some evidence so that we can put this person to just silence him once and for all with his lies. Okay? We tell the truth and we shame the devil. Okay? This is what's happening. So I'm going to show you evidence now. Have it. This is the man who has terrorized me. This is the man who has literally created mayhem absolute mayhem. This is the man who is operating as a deep state. This is the man who's part of the 7-Gate crime ring, okay, with Helen Alexander, all the people that are involved in my case, who are controlling the members of the media with Rupert Murdoch. And now, Rupert Murdoch, I'm addressing you as well now. I'm saying to you, I don't have no beef with you, okay? You have allowed these people to literally turn your industry into absolute filth, a cesspit of evil, causing carnage and destruction, okay? Now, we need to put that to an end, okay? This is what this is about. Now, this man has stalked me and gang-stalked me, targeted me with the members of the crime ring that are associated with Jimmy Savile's crime ring, his satanic ring, okay, with people that are operating in the mainstream media. Now, my beef directly is with these people, okay? Now, I don't care about these people. I want them out of my life. They've stolen from me for the last 15 years. And because the truth has come to light in our hashtag campaign, and everybody who's participating in the hashtag campaign is watching. The world is watching. You have to understand that, okay? This is not the court or the judicial system or the police services where you can actually bribe people. This is the court of public opinion where only the truth, and I mean nothing but the truth, is what reigns supreme. You cannot come along with a bunch of lies and stalk me openly and make threats to me on radio shows to think that I'm gonna have some sort of cowardice. I don't do cowardice, okay? I don't do fear. It's greater to be loved than it is to be feared. If you want to be feared, you're in the wrong place, okay? If you haven't learned by now, after 15 years, that I don't tolerate people's bullshit, then you need to really, really understand that right now, okay? I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm not interested in your life. Stay out of my life. Credit and pay me for what you've stolen. Dancing with Stars, Strictly Come Dancing, You Are What You Eat, 10 Years Younger, all the multiple of shows that have raked in billions and trillions of pounds of profits, all the multiple of productions that come from me, okay, that was stolen from my multimedia platform, and all the things that you've stolen since then, I want to be credited and paid for those works, okay, because I'm not your slave, okay? You need to understand that. You need to understand that you cannot go around trying to exploit and enslave people and think that we're going to sit down and suck it up. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You need to understand that. Now, this man, who should have been like a father figure, okay, this man who should have been who's part of my race of people, if you want to use that word, because that's another debate about race. That's a creation that was designed to divide and conquer people, okay, in the 1600s. But that's another story entirely. I'm going to get into that in another video. But this man who actually should have been and could have been somebody that the world respected, has chosen to literally go around doing the most evil things to innocent people, including myself. This man is the one who is behind Operation Mockingbird Productions, okay? Evidence has come forward that he was ex-military. Now, this is the man who targeted me to go to the meeting to meet these people from the networks, only to put me in a slave trading program, which is whereby they literally totally infiltrated my entire life for 15 years. And me trying to stop them has created all kinds of carnage, okay? So, I want you to block this man. Now, I'm going to show you that I have reported him to Twitter, okay, because he's written a number of things, and we're going to flag up the things that he's written to make it clear and establish the facts that this man is a bullshitter, okay? He's managed to get away with his evil for the last 15 years, because when I met this man, he had worn down shoes. The heels of his shoes were worn down. On one side, you could see that the man didn't have no money, okay? He used me in order to make himself and his fellow monsters rich. And in order to keep that crime syndicate going, he's done so much evil. And he's continuing to do the evil, okay? He had the opportunity to come to court, but instead he chose to get somebody called Charles Russell to send me death threats, send me letters of death threats. These people have tried to murder me many times, okay? There's so many people, as I said, what has happened to my mother and my father and my friends? Explain that to the world, because the world is watching, okay? Explain what you did, the truth, not the bullshit, not the lies, because you have had the opportunity with all that money to get yourself proper mental health treatment. You've had the money to get the best psychiatrists and the best people to help you sort out what is wrong with you, okay? Because if you think doing what you've been doing for the last 15 years is a good thing, you're wrong. You're wrong. If you think that you're going to do terror to keep people like me silenced, you're wrong. You can terrorize some of the people some of the time. You can't terrorize all of the people all of the time. We don't do terror. I don't do terror. I don't do intimidation. You should know that by now, okay? So get out of my life, remove your surveillance from me, and stop making yourself look like a fool, okay? Confession is good for the soul. Okay, so let's start talking some real truths right about now. And that addresses to everybody in the media who has allowed this circus and this cesspit of evil to continue, where people's innocent lives are getting killed and destroyed, okay? It's the end of it now, okay? Let me move on to the next thing. Okay, here we see, I've reported this man to Twitter, okay? Because he's been leaving comments on my page, because the truth is rising and this campaign, and that's why I'm saying to you people, this campaign has been very effective, okay? Already we've seen satellites taken down, already we've seen newspapers fold. Now we have, as of last week, the UK was found guilty of breaching Article 8 of the Human Rights Act for mass surveillance upon the population. Now, it's not just in the UK they're doing it. They're using GCHQ to literally enslave people and target people en masse. So this is global, what we're talking about. So let's look at this man here, what he says. He says, you need to do a lie detector test. You are a liar. You live off the backs of people killed in bombings. No lie is too big. Let's go to court 7. Let's go to court 7. I'm going to show you the courtroom audios where he was taken to court and he didn't show up. What are you talking about? I've already been to court. Don't play. Don't make it look like people that you can write bullshit and then people will think, oh, maybe 7 isn't telling the truth. There are courtroom audios that don't lie. What did you do to the judge? What did you do to the judge? What did you do to Judge Pumphrey? Because he was announced dead when you were supposed to go to prison, okay? Let's not talk shit, okay? We're all adults. You're a good age now. You should have some common sense. I'm calling you out, 7. You have lied about winning your case, got the plaintiffs' names wrong, have never produced a program in your life. Okay, so let us look at the evidence, okay? This man who was issued to go to court, who's saying that what I'm saying is all a lie, okay? So we're going to look at whether it is a lie or not, all right? So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, these are some of the information that I've sent to Twitter. Before he tries to attempt to keep his trail of deception and pure out-and-out crimes usually punishable by capital punishment, make it clear he must now credit and pay for all the work he stole and illegally traded worldwide without my consent and permission. Okay? That's just some of what I've put in this to Twitter. This is a report to Twitter. I do have private investigations on all of these people happening right now. Here you will see in the report to Twitter, I've included the courtroom audios, and you can hear Richard Hanna found guilty and the judge saying, has Richard Hanna ever been to court? And I answer no. He says you can issue summary judgment against him. Okay? Not only that, you will hear in the courtroom audios that the judge said it was the best prepared documents he'd ever seen in his career as a judge, and which spanned something like 30 years. Okay? This is not me bigging myself up. This is the Judge Pumphrey that stated this. On top of that, the judge said on a particular level of truth, he cannot doubt what I said was true because evidence doesn't lie. Okay? You listen to those courtroom audios again carefully and you will hear clearly that this man and all these people were found guilty. It was in my favor. The court ruled in my favor. The judge ruled in my favor. And they doctored it, covered it up, and that is why I got the courtroom audios after Judge Pumphrey was announced dead. Now this again is crime report where Richard Hanna's global crime syndicate is fully exposed. You look at the Farrell report and you'll see evidence. Okay, hard evidence is what you call prima facie evidence. Okay, let's move to the next slide. See evidence that I already took this con man, psychopathic, pathological liar to prison and judgment was found in my favor. Well, I meant court, but he was supposed to go to prison and judgment was found in my favor. So I took civil and criminal proceedings against these people because the case was both criminal and it was civil. The police covered up their side. They should have made sure that they went to prison. And so did the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, Trading Standards. All of these people were notified and they should have been participants whereby they put these people behind bars, but it was all covered up. Okay? This basically, so let me just continue. Judgment was found in my favor against him and his monstrous criminal network. Now when you listen to what the judge said, he said it doesn't matter if these people want to lose. It has got no consequence. If the case has merit, the case has merit. Okay? That was like poison to his ears. So he thought he can engineer a whole lot of filth and destruction to innocent people to cover up what he's been doing. Okay? He has an international racketeering operation and he was using me and my work in order to fleece countries, fleece banks, and basically I brought it to court and they engineered a whole horror show in order to keep this stuff hidden. But it's the end of it now. Okay. So, to this beyond evil person, he's so sick he probably perceives being called beyond evil as a compliment. He got a crooked barrister to cover up the real court verdict to escape facing prison for his heinous crimes against humanity. Okay? Okay, here you see evidence that Twitter has received my report and this report of this man. I did other reports as well because this man has made public death threats against me. He's been stalking me and his crime ring for 15 years. So everybody block this man, contact him and tell him to get out of my life, credit and pay and apologize for what he's done to me and members of the public. Okay, all those false flags. Okay, so just so that we know exactly who we're talking about, many of you have seen me put this poster up on previous videos. And thank you for everybody who's been spreading the word about this crime ring, because they are the deep state. Deep state are the ones that are hidden. They're the ones that are at the top of the satanic pyramid, who are doing crimes against humanity. Okay? Now here you will see this man, Richard Hanna, is on that poster, along with Helen Alexander, Jim Manson, Tamsin Allen of Bindman and Partners. She's the person who shut down the Leveson inquiry, who works with this man who was given a knighthood on the back of stealing intellectual property and actually causing carnage all over the place. This is Brian Nicholson. This is the lawyer that changed over the official judgment, and that he was the reason why I had to order the courtroom audios. Okay, I got the Judge Chadwick to order the courtroom audios. This is the criminal who went into the courts, and actually, when they saw that I won and that the case went in my favor, he literally doctored all the judgment to make it look like I lost and these people won. This man never went to court at all, which you will hear the judge say in the courtroom audios. They didn't show up. They didn't have the guts to show up because there was so much evidence against them. They couldn't show their face. They just sent this man to go into the courts and corrupt it. And you will hear what the judge said to him. Okay? And when they obviously didn't succeed, they took the next measure. And the judge was announced dead, Humphrey. Okay? So, this is Derek Rosenblatt. He's one of the lawyers I went to. First I went to her and she got into the whole, jumped on the bandwagon, and she ended up stealing the script from me that was also sold across the world. Then he jumped on the bandwagon. He said, I need to see your master documents. So me at that point not realizing how these people roll, I gave him the master documents, which had more shows and more productions than they had already stolen. So on top of what these people stole, she stole a script when I went to see her about my case. These people here from Bindman and Partners, and people have come to me and told me that they're sacrificing babies in the back of their offices. That's no word of a lie. Somebody that was, I don't know who this man was, but he had been looking for me for a long time, and then it was brought to my attention, and I could not believe my ears when this man revealed to me what was going on in the back of their offices. Okay? I have no evidence to prove that. I'm just telling you what happened. Okay? Now this man, he's been flagged up with other cases connected to Haringey Council, boiler rooms, and properties that are used in order to create fake companies. Because many of these people, they have hundreds and hundreds of companies. They're all ghost companies, so that they can actually racketeer and steal money. It's all money laundering. It's all extortion. It's filth. And to keep it all going, they've created a whole terror operation, because they're in the media with Rupert Murdoch. They've created a whole situation whereby they're creating these staged terror attacks to make it look like we have a Muslim problem. But these are the Muslims. These are them. Do they look like Muslims to you? They're not. Okay? That's who's creating the terror globally. Okay? Now this man here, when I got my courtroom audios, which was ordered by Justice Chadwick, Lord Justice Chadwick, and Sir Peter Gibson, well, actually, it was just Chadwick on that occasion, because after I was awarded judgment in my favor before Chadwick, this man corrupted the court proceedings. He doctored it. So I went back and I showed him the doctored documents, and Chadwick ordered for the audios to be released. And it was Justice Warren who actually released them to me in 2008. Now, when I went back to court with the audios, this man put a block on it to say that nobody should ever listen to these courtroom audios. This man removed the case from the listings criminally. These people were in the courts operating criminally, okay? To cover up the fact that I now had, in his situation, he covered up the fact that the audios had been produced. And this man's background is he was the lawyer for the dictator Pinochet. So that's what the evidence has pulled up. There's been lots of investigations on all of these people, and there currently still is private investigations because we cannot rely on the police. There's so much money involved. People have been compromised. People have been threatened. So we cannot, at this point, rely on the police. Let's hope that as this information gets out and you put this information all around the world, that the police will get the courage to fight against these people on our behalf, because what has gone on is so much evil. It's got to the point it has to come to an end. This man here is Blackburn. While I was in hiding and my case was listed, as I told you, I issued my proceedings on the 5th of August 2004. The case was supposed to be heard in July of 2005, and we all know that the terrorist attacks in London, the 7/7 bombings, 7/7, 52 people died, according to what the records have stated. Okay, we do not know if that's the official figure, but that's what we've been told as members of the public. Okay, now this man, while all that was going on, I was in hiding, and I ended up in there for 3 months until I was smuggled to Notting Hill Gate police station on the 31st of August, which is my birthday, in 2005. This man removed my case from the list. That is why I had to go to Lord Justice Chadwick and Peter Gibson, and they overturned his decision to remove my case unlawfully from the court list. This company here sent me death threats on this man's behalf. When I issued proceedings, instead of going to court, this people here, and I'm going to show you the evidence, sent me letters with reference numbers saying dead. Okay? Russell's, Christopher Gossage and Tony English in Russell's, they are the law firm that I went to protect my documents in the first instance. And these are the people that contacted these people in the networks. She was with Scottish Media Groups before she was with BBC, before she was at Scottish Media Groups. She was at the BBC with Jimmy Savile, part of his satanic crime syndicate. Then, when I won my case, he doctored the documents and she changed her identity. And these people changed their company's names. NTL, who he was representing at the time, became Virgin Media, and that's how Branson got involved in this filth. And that's why I'm saying to Richard Branson, you do not need to go down with these people. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay? Now, Goodman Derrick is the lawyers that was representing these people. On their website, they state that my case, getting rid of my case, was the best thing they ever done. Okay? This man, Mark Windows, he's paid to go round as part of the 77 Brigade of people that are hired trolls to go over social media and create smear campaigns against genuine victims, character assassination, so that the public will not support people like myself, genuine victims. This is what this man has been doing, okay? This man is a criminal along with all of these people, okay? So let me come out of here now. Okay, now, Richard Hanna has stated that I'm a liar, okay? He said about let's go to court, when in fact he's already been to court and found guilty. Okay, this is the kind of nonsense, sick, twisted people that are involved in my case. These are all my production, which he knows, And if he's honest, if he has the courage to be honest and confess what he's done, you will see clearly that this man, sorry, I don't know what that's doing there. That shouldn't have been there. Okay. This man has said I'm a liar. Okay. Slavery still in the UK. Targeted gang stalks and terrorized for her TV shows. Obviously, that's me. The horrific case of 7 versus Gossage and 9 others. Okay. This woman sustained a 15-year terror campaign by criminals in the media for her intellectual property. She won her case in 2006, but has never been paid or given justice. That's a fact. Okay, otherwise I wouldn't be here talking. Terrorized 24/7 with death threats. Criminals said, on my command, unleash sales hell. Okay, so let us look at the evidence to see whether or not this is factual. Okay, this man wants to play silly games with people. Let's see if this is factual. Okay, what you're looking at is the email, as it clearly says, from Richard Hanna. The date was 31st of October 2003. Okay, now he copied in other people, but you'll see he also CC'd me in. But I didn't see these emails till afterwards, after I went to the meeting. What does it say here? It says, let me make it bigger so there can be no confusion about what we're talking about. Okay, now, first it says, the views expressed in this email are those of the individual and not necessarily of Carrion Television, NTL, or any affiliated companies. Okay, now, the important thing to recognize is that these companies are all involved in the crime syndicate. NTL, as I said, after I won my case, NTL folded and became Virgin Media. Okay, and that's when obviously they wrote Richard Branson into this filth. This is factual, documented facts. NTL became Virgin Media in order to hide what they did. Okay, now on my poster it said, the criminals said, on my command, unleash sales hell. This is the man who wrote it, okay? That is a fact, okay? So stop telling lies, stop making yourself look like a fool while the public and the whole world is watching you, okay? So, we've established that fact. That was the subject. Now let's ask yourself, what does on my command, unleash sales hell? Translated means, let us steal this woman's documents and literally, in a frenzied, mad, crazy selling practice, they literally unleashed sales hell all over the world. Over 126 countries, my work was chopped up and sold to. Okay, that is the meaning of unleash sales hell, which they did. Okay, on top of that, it also means to have sales hell means bring terror to the public. So let's look at this statement. This is written by the same man, Richard Hanna. Okay, as you see there, he signed it R.J.H. Richard J. Hanna. Okay, so there's no confusion about who we're talking about here. My name is Maximus TV Program Sellingus, husband of a murdered career, father of a murdered brainchild. I will have my vengeance in this live event or the next. Then he tells me, Charles, to go to Felton Studio at 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the 11th of November, to share my format ideas with Helen Alexander of Scottish Media Group's Head of Factual Broadcasting. Okay? So let's not play silly games with people. This is facts. Stop lying to the people. Okay, so I have the document up again. Make it bigger. Now, I want you to see what he's written in this email very clearly, because it's important that you understand what is being said here, okay? This man, Richard Hanna, writes, my name, oops, it's gone smaller. So there's his name again, Richard Hanna. So there can be no confusion of what he wrote. It is him that wrote it. This is part of the evidence of my court case. That's why the judge said I cannot doubt on a particular level of truth. I cannot doubt what Miss Seven says. Okay? I'm going to play the audios again so you can hear it for yourself, and I need you to get this all around the world as quickly as possible, because these people are murderers. Okay? And these people have not only targeted you and me, they've targeted everyone. Okay? This was the plot. Here, in black and white, you can see it clearly. My name is Maximus. Now that's very important. Maximus. Because he calls himself sometimes Max, Mad Max. Okay? Now that has come up in relation to just before Grenfell Tower. There was a statement made of a program saying that Max was going to carry out his most evil act against Charles yet. And then a couple of days later, we saw Grenfell Tower, and I flagged it up 2 days before, but nobody listened to me. If you watch my reports on Grenfell Tower, special reports with Romola D on my YouTube channel, Grenfell Tower special report. So if you go onto my YouTube page and you watch that, you'll see this evidence, okay? Because we need to clean this filth up. It's time to clean this filth up, okay? These people cannot think that they can do all this to people and then just get away scot-free and it's all good. It's not good. It's not all good. So let's look at this. My name is Maximus TV program. TV program selling us. Husband of a murdered career. Murdered. Look at this word carefully. Murdered career. Father of a murdered brainchild. I will have my vengeance in this event or the next. Which event is he talking about? He's talking about when I go to the meeting with Helen Alexander. From that point on, they will carry out their atrocities, which is what they've done successfully, okay? This statement is a statement of, it's a declaration, okay? It's an affirmation, declaration that this man is planning to carry out carnage on the world stage, okay? He says he will have his vengeance. Vengeance for what? What have I done to you? I don't know you from a can of paint. What has all the people you've killed done to you? What have they done to you to receive your vengeance? So you've carried it out successfully. Congratulations on your evil. If you think that doing what you've done is a thing to be proud of, you are literally, you need to be in a straitjacket. Because what you have carried out upon me and the members of the world stage, okay, is evil. Okay, you know it's evil and you are proud of your evil. We know this, okay? We know about your Operation Mockingbird, okay? But it comes to an end now because you have to understand. You cannot do what you've done, carry out all these false flag attacks on the members of the public to cover up your criminality and think that we're all going to just sit aside and let you get on with it. No, you cannot do what you've done to me and to members of the public and innocent people. Okay, members of my family, you cannot do that and expect me to be quiet about it. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay? However much you think you can terrorize people into silence, on this occasion it's not successful. Okay? You're not going to get away with it. Alright? And all you people watching, you need to make sure that you send the message to every single different department and everywhere around the world to let the world know who is behind this. This is what is behind it. Look at the date, 2003. 15 years later, okay? So you need to understand, you're dealing with psychopaths. This man is a psychopath. Only God knows what happened to him in his life that made him turn into this kind of a monster that he has become. All right? Nobody knows what happened to him. It's up to him to tell his truth and explain why he has done what he has done to me and all the different people. That is for him to be able to look at himself in the mirror and confess to the world what he has done with this woman, Helen Alexander, who has now faked her own death because the evidence is all over the place, okay? Particularly in relation to Grenfell Tower and 7/7 bombings and my court case where the judge is dead. That's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. If you think you can get rid of a case by killing the judge, that's a serious thing, all right? If you think you can cover up your criminality, we're talking about industrial scale, racketeering, organized crime, stalking, targeting, terror, torturing people, okay? If you think you can get away with that and everybody stays silent because everybody's too scared to open their mouth, it's a new day. It's a new day. That's not going to happen, okay? We want you to put this to an end. Get all your wise people to come around you and say, this has gone too far. Let's stop it now, okay? You have to stop it now. I want you out of my life. I want a public apology, and I want the media to report on all of this, okay? All of you honest media that is in there that want to tell the truth, this is your opportunity to be the heroes of humanity, okay? This is your opportunity to do something good in your life, okay? Equally, this man has the opportunity to come forward and tell the truth. However difficult that may be, this is the time to do it because it cannot continue anymore. You obviously know that. That's why you're writing lies on everybody's pages about me. And you're writing lies on Twitter. Obviously, somewhere you still have a conscience, because if you didn't have a conscience, you wouldn't care. Obviously, you do care, because all of these criminal networks are going to be cleaned out. They're going to be rooted out. All the weeds in there are going to be rooted out, okay? So, you coming forward and smearing shows that obviously somewhere inside you knows what you've done is wrong, okay? Now you have to transition to the position where you admit it, because you don't even have to admit it. It's clear for everybody to see. It's clear. Okay, so let's go on to the next document. Okay, this is evidence, and I say evidence, of the picture that Richard Hanna used to lure me to the meeting at NTL by deception. This man sent this picture to me saying that this is him. Okay? The man is an identity fraudster and a con man of the highest degree. Okay? He invited me to a meeting with this picture saying, to recognize me, this is me when you get to the meeting. Okay, so this was attached to the other email that he sent. Again, this is part of the evidence that was in court. This is what you call under tort misrepresentation, okay? To give somebody else's identity as your own identity in order to carry out fraud by deception, that is a crime. That's a criminal offense, okay? He did that in order to lure us to the business meeting to meet Helen Alexander. Okay, so just get a good picture of this man. This is who Richard Hanna said he is. Obviously, he's some sort of dignitary. He's some sort of lord. And that ties into the Lord Grenfell in the movie Dark Tower. Okay? Because he gives the identity as somebody else other than himself. Somebody, I do not know who this person is. But this person needs to know that this man, Richard Hanna, is obviously a black man who has been using this man's identity in order to carry out thefts by deception. He thought he could steal my work and have me murdered and that it all be good. Okay? Now this is important to understand because currently he's using female identities. He went to Alfred Weber's channel with an avatar of a female. And then when it came out, it was him. So it's quite possible the person calling herself Claire Bella was actually him. And then that person has shut down their profile and they've put a new picture up and they've also changed the name. This is what he does. Okay, this is 2003, so that shows you 15 years ago. This is his track record. This is what he does. All of these people are identity frauds. Okay, that's how they carry out their evil. They use other people's identities. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this is the business card that was given to me by Helen Alexander, head of factual programming. Okay, SMG TV Productions. Okay, and she came to the meeting with another man, Jim Manson, who is an executive producer, television production and media consulting. Okay, in Bristol. Okay, now these are important things to recognize because all of these places have become a cesspit of corruption in Bristol, Scotland, or everywhere these people have gone. They've left death and destruction. Okay, this television company was in Glasgow. It is affiliated to ITV, Grampian Television, Granada, and all various TV networks across the globe. Okay, this is how my work was sold to all the different networks via this witch here. Okay, now, important thing to flag up is Ginger Productions, which belonged previously to somebody called Chris Evans. Now, in the early 2000s, this woman was the woman that took his production company off him before she stole my productions. So she had been at it for a very long time. Okay, now, once the case went through and all of this evidence came out, that's when she changed her identity and she removed all this information of who she really was. Previously, before Scottish Media Group, she was with the BBC with Jimmy Savile, and she was part of his satanic crime ring. This is why you're seeing Satanism in such a big scale all over media productions. These are the people behind it. Okay, so let me move on to the next. This document here, again, part of my court case, you'll see the exhibit numbers at the bottom of the page always. But this is proof of my copyright packages and my copyright ownerships by the post office. Okay, these are all staff in the post office who wrote to the courts to let them know, yes, the documents that were stolen belong to me. I am the owner of them. Okay, so that's an important thing to flag up. These are signatures of Christopher Gossage, my lawyers, who signed when I went to the meeting in 2003 with the lawyers for my work. This is the signature. This is a contract that proves that I am the owner of those documents. Okay? That the works that you're seeing all over the networks, these people are, this is the proof of the signed contracts between myself and the lawyers. Okay? There's another one. I'll show it to you. Again, this is another one that's signed for my work that I had done to create entertainment shows around health and fitness, using celebrities, using dance, using all the things that you've seen. This is the proof that this man here, Christopher Gossage, stole my work with these people. He signed the contracts, and this is the reason why they've tried to kill me, because they know that there's so much evidence. They've signed contracts. They've breached their oaths to their professions. A lawyer should not, and he wasn't even a lawyer at the time, he was a clerk, working with someone called Tony English, who I believe has changed his name to David English. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, what you're looking at here is the letter from the solicitors after the meeting on basically the 9th of June 2003. This was the letter. You have asked this firm to represent you in connection with the protection. Let's make that bigger so you can see it. I don't like people taking me for a fool and taking you for a fool as well. It was nice to meet you on Thursday. As we discussed, I'm writing to set out this firm's terms for acting on your behalf. As I told you, I went there with my documents, and I just showed you that he signed after seeing the documents, and they took me on as a client for the commissioning of my ideas for television series. Okay, for your information are general terms and conditions. I will take overall responsibility for this matter. In my absence, I propose that the partner who would be responsible for taking overall charge of this matter would be Tony English. Okay? Now this is important names to recognize because these are the deep state. Okay? Now if you look and you type up J.K. Rowling, you will see that she had a case against this same firm of lawyers for stealing and selling her ideas behind her back, breaching her confidentiality. As you saw, they signed contracts with me for my work to keep my work private. But what they actually did was they set me up to be murdered and defrauded, okay? With Richard Hanna, Helen Alexander, I was taken to a bogus meeting at NTL, which was completely empty. And the reason it was empty is because they had huge facilities in London, in Feltham. And you notice here it says strictly private and confidential. Strictly is now Strictly Come Dancing, okay? They took the name of an old show and stuck it next to this Strictly as a sort of like mock fest, okay? And then they changed the name of the same production in all different countries across the world. So the same production that's in the UK as Strictly Come Dancing is the same production in the USA, which is called Dancing with Stars. In India it's called something else, Turkey it's called something else, all over the world, Africa, it's all over the world, but they all have their own titles. So basically it's become a franchise, literally $1 billion franchise, which is raking in over the last 15 years or 14 years. I think they produced it in 2004. That has been raking money like you can't believe. And this is just one production. We're talking about hundreds of productions. And this is why they have created a whole host of evil to cover up what has been going on for 15 years. Okay? Now, this man, Christopher Gossage, he was the person that did the same thing to J.K. Rowling, but J.K. Rowling, being a famous celebrity, she took him to task and they had to pay her millions. Okay? So even though I won my case, they think the way to dispose of people like me is just to kill, murder, terrorize, and target. And on the back of all this money is how they built GCHQ. Okay, these are facts. All right, so let's get out of here. Let me show you something else. Okay, what you're looking at here is Richard Hanna's signature, signing contracts at the meeting. You will see it here clearly. Richard Hanna, and it was witnessed by Lisa Parnay on the 11th of the 11th, 2003. Okay. But this man, when you read what this man is saying, he knows exactly what he's done. All right? And he sees that the truth is going viral. Now, this was the terms of confidentiality. This was the contract for my work. Agreement between you and ourselves, nor will you act in any way so that such divulsion, dissemination, reproduction, publication, communication, disclosure, exploitation, or other dealing is likely from other third parties. If it is necessary for you to disclose any of the information disclosed to you to any of your colleagues, employers and employees or third parties, you will first let us have written details of such colleagues, employers and employees or third parties, and shall sign a letter of they shall sign a letter of confidentiality in exactly the same terms as contained herein, and will acknowledge that they are bound to such colleagues, employers, employees, and third parties. Shall observe all restrictions going on here relevant to this confidentiality as if it were you. If you do approve such disclosure, then you will not disclose the same to such colleagues, employers and employees or third parties, and acknowledge that any breaching of terms of this agreement would result in legal action against yourselves or signatories. Without prejudice to the generality of paragraph 5 above, you hereby confirm and agree that all communications between us in regard of the concept and or relating thereto are to be treatment with the strictest confidence between you and ourselves, and that all drawings, documents, outlines, synopsises, and the like, including for the avoidance of doubts, and without any limitation of technical information or design, will remain at all times our sole exclusive property. There you have it. This is why Richard Hanna is going all around the internet trying to smear my name to cover up the fact that he engaged in the theft, organized crime, organized IP crime on an industrial scale using my material, put a whole operation around me for the last 15 years, have seen to it that members of the public were killed, that members of the public be massacred in atrocities to cover up all of this, okay? This is serious thing that I'm showing you here, and I want you to make sure that this goes all around the world, so that these people recognize that they cannot do what they've been doing anymore. It has to stop, okay? So when you see this man's comments, put this video in its place. Members of the media who are watching this, you are fully aware that this man is a monster, okay? You are fully aware that this man is guilty. It said clearly that any breach of the terms of the agreement which he signed, that all of these people were party to, okay, would result in legal action, which it did, okay? So where is he going? Let's go to court. It's already been in court. He knows that. Don't try your psyops on people. It's not going to work, because people can read and write, okay? You might get away with Operation Mockingbird, but it isn't going to get away right now. That is over, okay? We've had enough of it. We've had enough of your evil, okay? You need to address the people who have destroyed your life, who made you feel like you have to carry out vengeance on the public and me. You need to go and address those people, because it's got nothing to do with us. We've done nothing to you, okay? You have to recognize that you cannot carry on doing this anymore, okay? Let's move on. Okay, what you're looking in front of you, looking at in front of you, I'm a little bit tired, so just bear with me. I've had no sleep, proper sleep for days and days. I'm trying to catch up on rest. I had a bit of sleep today, but I'm still very exhausted. But it's necessary for me to do this. This is the copyright proof that I am the owner of all those productions, which they all know, okay? And this is why I've been targeted for 15 years, okay? This is why they've blown up the trains, because we're talking about billions upon billions of pounds, okay? Now, let me read this for you so that you can see that they are fully aware I am the owner of all those documents. Let's get it bigger. Alright, so let's bring it down a bit. Bring it down. Make it even bigger than that. Make sure that everybody can see this. In consideration of our disclosing the attached information and documentation, this document, you, by your receipt of this document, hereby acknowledge and agree that this document is valuable confidential information, the unauthorized disclosure or use of which will cause me, Child 7, irreparable harm, for which money damages alone inadequate. This document is divulged to you in the strictest confidence. Neither you nor any of your servants, colleagues, officers, directors, agents, employees will divulge, disseminate, reproduce, publish, copy, communicate, disclose, exploit, in any way deal with the document or any part of it thereof, or related concepts or ideas which are in any way similar thereto, in the absence of a prior written agreement between you or anyone may wish to consult. You will return all copies of this document in your possession and control immediately upon request from Child 7. Instead of doing that, they put death threats. Once they engaged in all the deals around the world, they tried to murder me. Without prejudice to the generality of the above, hereby confirm and agree that all drawings, outlines, synopsises, and the like contained in this document, which was my multimedia platform documents, including for the avoidance of doubt without any limitation, technical information or designs, and are and will remain at all times the sole and exclusive property of Child 7. Now what you see written at the bottom here is the lawyer Christopher Allen Gossage. Okay, I believe it's Allen is his middle name. Okay, he's probably changed it now to hide who he is. But this is proof that the lawyers actually provided these documents. After they've produced these documents, and I went to the meeting and the documents were stolen, and they engaged in deals straight away all around the world in 126 countries. Once they did that, they put in a whole operation to steal forever from me. And that is what's been going on for the last 15 years. Obviously, when I took legal action, it took them by surprise. When I won, it took them by surprise. So what did they do? They made sure that the judge was gotten rid of. Okay, that's what we're dealing with right now. This is what is behind 7/7 bombings and the shooting of John Charles. We need to understand that and get this information all around the world. Okay, I don't mean to be rude to anybody, but I'm making it very, 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 very serious and making it very firm what I'm saying here, because this is a serious situation, okay? This man is trying to keep this evil going and we have to bring it to an end. That's why I devised the hashtag campaign to flush this out. Unfortunately, it's working. They've come out of the woodwork. Now we have an opportunity to shut it down once and for all, and I need everybody on board in order to achieve that. Okay, what you're looking at in front of you now is an email from somebody that was working within the networks, because what happened after my documents were stolen, every single channel and network all over the world was producing my work. It was literally from late 2003, 2004 onwards. There was a wave of productions. And many of you in the world from the UK will remember and recall there were TV shows all about health and fitness that all came from my documents, okay, which is what is in front of my poster, which says slavery in the UK, which I'll show to you again so that we can just establish for the record exactly what the facts are, okay, so that we don't play with these people and we get ourselves free from the nightmare that they have inflicted on every single one of us, okay? This is not just about me. They used me in order to carry out their atrocities, which have literally morphed into the worst atrocities ever known to mankind. We're talking about slavery, human trafficking. This is where all the money went, okay? We're talking about billions of pounds over the last 15 years, literally compromising every position of power, the judiciary, to keep this all quiet, okay? So let's look at this document before we press on. It's a little bit long, this video, but it's necessary. It's necessary for everybody to see this information and get it around the world so that we put an end to this, okay? So this is an email from somebody called Emma Porter, to M. Henry, okay, who actually sent it to me. Untold story of health and fitness, because in 2004, all over the world was my work. Now this person writes back, he wrote to the media, people were writing to the media about me and my situation. And so this is an email that came back. And it says, yes, Charles 7 is the same person we are aware of. I remembered the name because it's distinctive. I'm afraid it's not good news. Charles was unfortunately set up by the lawyers from Russell's, Tony English and Chris Gossage, with Richard Hanna and factual head Helen Alexander. Charles's work was sold in late November to various production houses. They sold part of it to Tim Hinks from Endemol, and Tim sold it to Channel 4, which was also late last November time. Channel 4 ran the Country House Hotel ad as a working title when they first got it from them. They've since changed the format's name to Fit Farm, which will be running from the 8th of March until late May. I mean, these are other productions. I mean, we're talking about a multitude of productions, okay? The rollout for the project was millions, which is why I can't understand why they don't want to pay her. But you're quite right, it's done all the time. They do have mass pitching sessions just to nick people's work ideas. That show, Boys and Girls, that was screened last year was also ripped off. That's not my production, Boys and Girls. I don't even know what that is. I can tell you for a fact that neither Endemol or Channel 4 had any formats like your partners. This was a business partner at the time that I was working with who was doing all the technical stuff for me. And there were a number of people that were writing to the networks to let them know what was going on. Believe me, if they did, they would have already been in production a long time ago. Channel 4 are desperate for lifestyle-related formats because they make the most money and pull in ratings. Endemol are one of the largest international production companies, so your partner's work is likely to have been sold worldwide by now. Shame I didn't see your email before. You are dealing with power-mad, very ruthless people, as you said yourself. They don't care who they trample over. Your partner's stolen documents have brought in masses of revenue and made the people involved seriously rich. I don't think they have any intention of paying Charles anything. This is in 2004. We're now in 2018. You need to get a good lawyer. Try Allsfang. They have a good reputation, but be careful who you talk to. Big Fat Doc you mentioned was also sold to BBC in November and rushed straight into production and filmed at the end of November and December time. So these are all other productions, because we're talking about a multitude of them. We're talking about a multitude of productions. These people went insane. There was frenzied deals going on all around the world for my work, and they wanted me dead because of it. Not only did they do that, this is the front cover of Time Out magazine for 2004. And here we see two black people, or we use the word black, melanated. I prefer to use the word melanated. From boxing to belly dancing, triathlon to Tai Chi, how to make fat burn fun, which is what my concept was about. How to revolutionize the way that we perceive and deal with health and fitness in the entertainment industry. That was my concept that I developed because my brother died at the age of 30. He was unwell, and I said, I'm going to do something to help people in humanity that suffer from health-related issues. I was already in the industry as a musician, and so I thought, okay, I'll take my background in the entertainment industry, in the music industry, and I'll create this multimedia platform to help people become well. And this is what they've done with it. This is what they've done with it, okay? It was on the front cover of literally every single magazine all over billboards. And meanwhile, they put on a whole operation around where I live, breaking into my house, which has been going on for the last 15 years, despite winning my case. Okay? And many of you are targeted. These are the people running the intelligence agencies now. They moved into the intelligence industry, private security companies, which has come out because Harvey Weinstein did the same thing to his victims. He employed a company called Black Cube, which is a Mossad, ex-Mossad run private security firm, whereby they put whole operations around victims to keep us silent, okay? This is what they do. So let me show you some more things before I sign out. This was the follow-up cover of Time Out magazine, which was run by Helen Alexander and Scottish media groups and all these conglomerates of corporations. They put this on the front cover after the previous front cover that I just showed you. Make money fast by scamming and schemes to get rich quick. Because they were making so much money, they put it on the front cover. And this is when I first discovered Operation Mockingbird. I didn't know what it was called at the time, but I just saw everything that was being done to me was actually playing out on the front covers of magazines and TV shows. Okay, so let me show you something else. This is a show called Hustle, which is based on the same criminal network. This guy's playing Richard Hanna. This woman is playing Helen Alexander. This man is playing Christopher Gossage. This man is playing Tony English of Russell's. And this man is playing Jim Manson. Okay? Everything written on this website, this was produced in 2004 at the very same time. And you'll see it says the con is on. Okay? The con is not on. It's not on what you've done to us. So this is BBC, because it was so massive what these people were doing. They decided to create a whole production on their crimes. Okay? Now everything written on this website was literally back to back what was taking place in real life. And that's how I discovered Operation Mockingbird. Okay? So these are the people from the deep state. These are the heads of the deep state, the hidden hands architects of evil. These are characters that are based on every single one of them that you do not know. They just put out people's names to make you feel like these people are the people who are the culprits, but these are the ones. And BBC, as I told you, had a crime syndicate in it from when Jimmy Savile was alive. This crime syndicate has been going on for a long time, okay, way before me. But obviously when they met me and they made so much money racketeering all over the world and they became seriously rich, that's when the BBC decided to immortalize what they did into a TV show. So let me show you some other things. Okay, this was produced this is the website. Now I want to make this bigger because you need to see this. The first thing that I'm going to show you is the date, 2004. So basically, this was the website that went up, which basically had everything that was going on in real life being done to me, written and created into a TV show. And what they had was also a glossary of terms, a glossary of terms, which basically showed all their con tricks, all their con jargon. They have short cons, long cons, and they showed you what these people are actually up to in real life. This guy was playing Richard Hanna, which I think his character was called Ricky Bricks or something like that, because Richard Hanna is a huge man. He's 6 foot, I don't know, plus. Okay, he's a huge man. And so they call him Ricky Bricks or something, based on Richard Hanna. This is based on Jim Manson, as I told you. Or this might be, Jim Manson, Tony English, Christopher Gossage, and this one is playing Helen Alexander. Okay, this is very important because I will show you. This is a scene here. I wish it was in color. You'll see Richard Hanna counting the money. This character playing Richard Hanna he's got a table full of money, and this is all the money that they stole and they had racketeered from all the countries. They fleeced all the banks using my intellectual property, and these are all this is what came out of it. So this was like a massive gain that was so successful as far as crime is concerned. And they made it into one big laughing stock by putting it on the front covers of their papers, their magazines, their TV shows. BBC also, after the London bombings, which was engineered by the same people to cover up what they were doing, they made a TV production about terrorism, and they showed on every train carriage had my court reference number. So let me just show you. There is a document. If you go to the Farrell Report, www.thefarrell Report, and you click up, go to main, it's tab 2, and you go to main report, and then you click final report. And you go on there and you read these documents, you'll actually see the glossary of terms, whereby they show you that they even fake their own death when they're going to be caught, which is what Helen Alexander has now done. Okay, so let me come out of here. Here we see that they actually also sold my name, because these are all identity frauds. So because of the fact that they knew I was going to take legal proceedings, or I was in the process of it, they gave my name to a blonde girl and created a band because they knew I was a musician. They thought, well, if she becomes big in the music industry, we're going to have problems. So we block her doing that by giving her name to someone else. And look what it says here: a not so tragic cover-up, chasing victory, because I was seeking court proceedings. Okay, so this is the filth that's going on in the UK and now globally, yeah? Okay, so this is the same site, Hustle. I'm so tired, but I have to do this so that you can see for yourself the filth, evil cesspit of corruption like you can't believe, that is engineered by this same man who is now openly targeting me. Okay, he's targeting every single one of you as well, because he's sick. Okay, obviously sick people don't know that they're sick. This man has stolen so much money, but he doesn't have the mentality to go and get himself mental health treatment. Instead, he's engineered with his crime ring atrocities after atrocities after atrocities after atrocities using this money. Okay? These people have more money than you can ever even conceive of. This is why we want to get that money back. It belongs to me. The money that belongs to me, we need to claw that money back so that we can start fixing the situation as it currently stands. I mean, the whole place is an absolute mess. The corruption is just completely off the charts. And we need every single person who watches this to take some form of action. Whether you report on it, whether you go to big channels and force them to report on it, or you contact the police and say, look, you want these people arrested. If not, take legal proceedings. I've shown you how to take legal proceedings. Every single one of you have got the right to do that. All the networks who are aware of this, you have the opportunity to be the hero and publish the truth so that we can all be liberated from this evil, because it's taken us nowhere. Okay? All you people that have been compromised in positions of power, come forward and say what has happened to you. Okay? Explain that you were bribed. Explain that you've been fearing for your life. Explain the truth. Let the world know what really is happening. You have a duty and responsibility to yourself and to every single person out there to tell the truth. Stop being afraid of these people. Okay? These are psychopaths. Alright, so that's what we are looking at here. Again, it's the same website from the BBC. Okay? This shows you that BBC are fully aware of what's going on. They are fully aware. They are fully aware what happened to the people in Grenfell Tower. They're fully aware what happened with 7/7 bombings. They're fully aware of who these people are because they make productions about it. Okay? This is a serious, serious crime against humanity that I'm showing you here. And you all have a responsibility to help bring it to an end. This is not entertainment. Okay? I don't need you to watch for entertainment purposes. You need to get busy and take this information and make sure everybody in the world sees it. Twitter it out, tweet it out all over the place with the hashtags, no more evil, get the criminals out. Hashtag, no more abuse. Hashtag, pay 7 money. Hashtag, get the criminals out. Hashtag, get the psychopaths out. Hashtag, jail the 7-gate crime ring. Hashtag, just blast them out. Go to my Twitter page and actually copy some of the actual hashtags and blast this video. You know, let people know what's happening. So, here we see. Do you know what a mark is? A mark is a target. That's what a targeted individual is. What would you do with a cackle bladder? Get the lowdown on the world of con and the jargon used in hustle. The mark is the intended victim of the planned con, which is what I have been. That's what you are. If you're a targeted individual, you are the mark. A short con refers to taking the mark for all the money he has on his person. It's an opportunist scam that isn't pre-planned to any great deal. A long con or a big con refers to a more complex planned con, whereby the mark is sent to get more money or used to get more money than is just on his person. This is what is being done to me. For 15 years, they've had me on a long con, which is basically a slavery program. Hacking into my computers, breaking into my home, stealing all my intellectual property, following me around, recording my conversations, turning them into radio shows. Follow me around, taking photographs of what I'm wearing, and manufacturing it. Putting surveillance equipment into where I'm staying, around where I'm staying, this is all part of a long con, which many of you who are targeted are part of the long con. Putting him on the send is another term for a long con or a big con. The big con is a form of theatre staged with middle naturalistic illusion for the audience of one who is enlisted to be part of the cast. That's what you call street theatre and all the false flag terror. That's what you call the big con here. It's a form of theatre. So what they're telling you here, all the staged terror attacks and all the ISIS stuff is all part of a big con, okay? It's all hilarious to these people. The murdering and massacring of people in broad daylight and having people ringing up, looking for their family members. This is hilarious. People throwing their babies out of the window, jumping out of buildings because it's been set on fire. This is what is called a form of theatre. So in other words, it's a snuff movie, but real time, and made to appear to the public as if it's a real event. A mark is lured in by the con man, in the first instance by making money for himself on one of their scams. Having gained the mark's trust, the con men sting him for a load of money. So then they say there are two types of con settings: real life, restaurants, hotel rooms, and the big store. The big store was NTL facilities. I was taken to a massive place where they had satellites, they had all kinds of, technical equipment to carry out these things, where empty offices are rigged out to look like a real life setting. This is what they actually done. So let me show you another page, because this is where you get to understand and understand and overstand the kind of filth that is going on here. Let me just take it down the page and see. The key player, the member of the con mob who stays near the big store and receives the mark, the victim, whom the roper brings. That's what Richard Hanna did. He used a false identity to lure me into NTL facilities. So check this out now. They're showing you everything. Extras are unemployed con men playing the role of extras in the con. So that's all the crisis actors. That's all the people like Mark Windows who go out and smear the victims. Okay, I'm not making any of this up. This is written in their own hand. They're showing you in plain sight what they've been doing. For 15 years I've watched these people doing this. Okay? And because the truth is coming out, this man has gone all over people's pages, on the comments, in Twitter, telling people that I'm a liar. Now you see clearly these are facts. Okay? Okay, putting up the mark refers to the process of locating a well-to-do victim. So somebody who's got the potential to have a lot of money or has a lot of money. And this is what's happening to people's houses are being stolen from these people by these people. Okay, playing the con for him refers to gaining the victim's confidence. Roping the mark refers to steering him to meet the insider man who will eventually fleece him. This was what was done to me. Giving him the convincer refers to the process of allowing the victim to make a substantial profit on the first scam, thereby gaining his trust. So that's other cons and other people that they've conned over the years. Blowing him off refers to the process of getting the victim out of, getting rid of them as quickly as possible. Putting on the fix refers to forestalling action by the law. Okay? So that means that they block anybody to be able to use the court judiciary, however means possible. Okay? That means bribing police officers, blocking the courts, by bribing the court administration staff, etc. Cackle bladder is the method of faking the death of one of the con men. As I've told you, Helen Alexander has faked her own death. It's written. I never make this up. Okay? Fix refers to the cooperation bought from the police. A fixer usually has political connections and is paid off by the conmen for fixing people in banks, the police, and the courts. Most con mobs can't exist without fixers. And there you have it. This is what is transpiring, unfolding in the world stage right in front of your eyes. This is why nobody will get justice. This is why all the courts are corrupt. This is why Scotland Yard has put out a publication, a press report saying that the whole judiciary has been infiltrated by criminals, these criminals. Okay? When we went to the police, if the Mark beefs, then he's gone to the police to grass up the conmen. That's when we went to the police. You can't make this stuff up. This is all factually what this man has been doing, this Richard Hanna character. And all his criminal network. This is what they're doing. It's hilarious. For them, the mass murder of innocent people is actually hilarious. The terrorization, domestic terror of people in their homes using organizations and housing associations such as Genesis Housing and the people that were the housing for the Grenfell Tower building and all the buildings all across nationwide. This is what is being done to people all over the country. This is a serious, serious situation. And I need you to really, really get this and get the information out. Okay? This is in the police's own words. The corruption of Britain. UK's key institutions infiltrated by criminals. These same criminals. That's why nobody's been arrested. That's why they put in there, they've got fixers in every single position. Okay? This is why there is no justice for anybody. And there's one cover-up after another cover-up, no matter how bad the atrocities. Now they're able to burn people alive inside buildings and just basically, it's all just put under the carpet. But the carpet can't take no more. The carpet, everything's spilling out all over the place. The genie is out of the bottle. Okay? And we have to bring it to an end. It's going to be we the people that brings this to an end. They won't bring themselves to justice, even though they've already been brought to justice and they were supposed to go to prison. So what you're seeing is basically the deep state operation that has been around me for the last 15 years. Okay? As you can see, it began live in 2003, 7/7. And everything on here is designed to steal, hack everything. Literally everything that I create is stolen by these people on an industrial scale. Okay? When I created this, it was 13 years when I pulled up this evidence. But at the time, so this is actually a straight slave trade. Proof of the Seven Gate Cult's continued sinister psychopathic death threats and full-scale targeting and satanic terror operation of non-stop hacking, thefts and global racketeering, stealing all Seven's designs and creative works for the last 13 years. Now it's 15 years, as you all know, because it started in 2003, as I've shown you. Okay? Okay, so you see, if you look at this evidence, it's all the write-ups, it's all UK, alright? And it says legal force. So that's another way of saying they're stealing by force. By force. Everything that I create. And they created a licensing company to steal literally everything. This is slavery. This is slavery on an industrial scale against me. And they're using this slavery to continue to do trafficking, slavery on other people, okay? This is a serious situation that we have. What you're looking at here is evidence of crimes against humanity on mammoth proportions. Okay, this is what is behind 7/7 bombings. This is what is behind the shooting of John Charles Menendez. This is what is behind Grenfell Tower. This is what is behind all the atrocities in Boston, Westminster. All of it is this. Okay? Let me show you more evidence. Okay, coming back to the original poster that I flagged up in the beginning of this video. I'm going to show you the names of some of the productions because you will no doubt know them. Slavery Still in the UK, targeted gang stalk and terrorized for her TV show. That is fact. These are all the famous shows. Dancing with the Stars, Strictly Come Dancing, Diet Doctors, The Fit Farm, ITV, Walk the Walk. That was basically what Tamsin Allen stole. This is Fit Farm. This is You Are What You Eat. Let me make them even bigger so you can actually really see them. So you will know these productions. And behind all these productions is a whole lot of evil. Games. And if you recall, there's a movie called The Games. And it's the reason why they called it The Games is because the movie shows you, if you go and watch the movie, I think it was with Michael Douglas, and they show you how they carry out their evil in that movie. It's a whole game that they're playing on people. And this is what is behind all of my stolen productions, this massive game that is being played on all of you. Okay? 10 years younger. The reason they created that production is because I look really young for my age. Okay, everybody knows I'm 53 years old and I look young for my age. You Are What You Eat, that was one of my productions because as somebody who takes care of myself and is into fitness and health and all the rest of it, you know, I flagged up that you are what you eat. You know, it's as simple as that. And that became one of the productions. And in this one, 10 years younger, they go up to people in the street and they say, how old do you think she is? And they actually make people that look older look younger. That's all based on me. It's shocking. I know a lot of people are going to be staggered when they see all this evidence, but it's a fact. Okay? And I'm saying this fact so that we can actually end this nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's got out of control. They don't know how to stop it themselves. They've been doing it for so long, they don't know how to stop it. It's going to take the public to stop it. Okay? So what Richard Hanna said about me being a liar, here you see the facts. On my command, unleash sales hell, which was written in his email. This is what you call sales hell. And this is only 1% of the shows. You're looking at billions and billions of pounds on the black market over the last 15 years. Trillions of pounds. Okay? This is what this is all about. This is why they're targeting me and they're targeting you. Okay? Because they want to keep all this money and they'd rather kill people rather than actually saying, okay, we've stolen, we've had enough, let us try and give some of this money back. They could have paid me over and over and over and over again. Ask yourself why they haven't. Because they're evil. And they're enjoying destroying people's lives. This is what they do. It's business for them. They're enjoying destruction, burning people up in towers. This is what they're enjoying doing. Okay? And we have to say no more. We have to confront and say no more of it. Now, this is the man who attended the meeting with Helen Alexander at the meeting where I was created as the mark, the target to be fleeced on the long con, as they've put in their own con jargon. Okay? Their glossary of terms of what they're actually doing in real life. This man here, you see, there's actually a video of this, but this man is giving an eyewitness testimony with his eyes closed, right? Saying that there was a terrorist attack at Glasgow airport, okay? And he is pretending to be an eyewitness to a production that he has created himself, okay? Television producer Jim Manson was only 50 yards away when two terrorists tried to blow up the airport. These are the people they put in the public to make the public think it's Muslims. This is what is going on. And you have people all over the country rallying around Tommy Robinson and all these other characters about Muslim terror, when the real terrorists, this is them. This is not me making this up. This is hard evidence. This is why I won my case. You can't argue with evidence, and they know I've got an abundance of it. So they need to smear me so that it discredits me, so that all of you will not take any notice of this. But it's for your life, your safety, your generations of people, your family, your friends, everybody that you love. It's in your interest to make sure that this comes out, to make sure that this evidence goes viral, because this is serious, serious crimes against humanity, crimes against all kinds of people, that these sick people, all that money, and he just looks like an ordinary, you wouldn't look twice at him. What has that money done for him? Nothing. He still probably shits the same, he still stinks the same, he still lives the same. What has all this evil done for this man? Absolutely nothing. It hasn't changed him, he's just turned into a monster. These people need mental health treatment. They need to be literally put away when they can't harm anybody else. Honestly. And it's up to you to make that happen. Okay, let's look at some more evidence. Okay, so it's no secret to anybody what's going on. This was published in Sunday, the 8th of March, 2015. The sinister treatment of dissent at the BBC. The whistleblowers who broke the Jimmy Savile story have seen their careers nosedive while executives protect their own status. So in order to keep this filth going, these people are literally creating havoc to anybody who speaks. So there is people in the BBC who have tried to bring the information out about this satanic cult. And these people are having all kinds of things happen to them. People around my shows have been murdered. People around, whether it be the contestants, the producers, the executives, there is a series of deaths, suspicious deaths around these productions. Because anybody who tries to talk the truth about what's going on within the networks, they are getting the same treatment as we are getting. We have to stop this. This is abuse of power to the highest degree. 6 psychopaths run the UK media and smear the innocent. This was flagged up in December the 1st, 2011. Okay? Now this is more evidence of the Leveson inquiry, which is showing you what is really going on within these networks. And it's all the same criminal cult that is part of the 7-Gate crime ring. Okay, which I'm flagging up, which this Richard Hanna is part of. Okay, Helen Alexander, she's not dead. It says she died on the 7th of August 2017 after the report about Grenfell Tower came out. She's basically faked her own death. So we are asking everybody in the media who knows where this woman is to pull her out, flush her out her wherever she is, because she has to stand for her crimes. She had people murdered in Grenfell Tower and had people murdered on the trains. She's had people murdered worldwide. Flush that woman out. Okay? So here we see slavery becomes big business in Britain. This is 2014 now. Sunday the 4th of May 2014. The UK, Sky News. Everybody in that media industry knows what's going on. They've put a slavery industry around me and anybody who they can steal from. Okay? And they're having people killed en masse to keep this filth going. Sky News investigation reveals big rise in slavery, but the latest figures could be just the tip of a much bigger iceberg. That's right. They're showing it to you all over the place what's really going on, but you people have not been paying any attention. You're waiting for people to come forward and tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're giving you the information. You have to connect the dots yourself. So I'm here connecting the dots for you so that you, because the power is the people's. None of this can continue if you make noise. And this is what the hashtag's for. Copy, paste, blast. You know what's going on now. And you want it to be over. You want all these targeting programs to be squashed. You want GCHQ to be squashed. Right? All of these criminal enterprises that are doing industrial scale genocide. We're talking about genocide. All right? We need these things to be brought to an end, but only you people can make that happen. Me as one person going to the courts, it's not going to happen, okay? The reason why nobody's being arrested is because UK are selling criminal gang mobsters licenses to target, torture, and enslave people because it's big business. This is a license given to these mobsters in order to carry out all what they're doing, okay, from the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, right? This is a license. They're putting it in the shellfish industries or what have you. This is where the slaves are operating, okay? So this is a licensing code of practice for gang masters supplying workers to the agricultural, horticultural, and shellfish gathering industries. This is a license to allow these people to do it with impunity, okay? This is criminal. This is criminal, and only you can stop it. Okay, let me show you some surveillance vans. Surveillance van outside my window, which is parked up permanently. This was parked up permanently. I'll show you another one in the same position, parked outside my window permanently. Okay, this is nighttime so that you can see. It doesn't matter what day or night, it's there permanently. Okay, just to show you what these filth do. Magazine cover, is London killing you? Putting it in your face what they're doing. 2005, after they blew up the trains. Another magazine cover. Same magazine where they showed my work on the front covers. Now they're showing you undercover London, inside city of smoke and shadows. Espionage. Okay, look, it says clandestine capital uncovered. Secrets dossier reveals. Okay? These are the deep state. Okay? And these are the people that are running all the false flag terror all over the place. This was in 2005, May of 2005. Okay? So, is it 2005? Let me make it bigger. It could be even 2006. Let's have a look. This is 2006. So this is the 17th of May, after they've carried out the London bombings. Okay, so now they're on a wave. Okay? And since Grenfell Tower, they're on a wave, burning all the places down all over the world. It's the same people. I could show you evidence after evidence, but this video would be 5 hours long, which you don't need. So I'm just giving it to you as short as I can. Obviously, it's going to be over an hour, but it's over an hour's worth of video that is life-changing. To anybody watching it, this is life-changing, because now you know the truth. Now we can end it. The truth will set us free. That's the reality of it. And anybody in the media who's watching this, you all know what's going on. And you have the opportunity to change it as well. Because it's not good for any of us. Any of you. Okay? However much money you're making, this is not a way to live. To be party to this filth is not the way to live. Here you see clearly the papers are telling you themselves that they're a bunch of liars. The truth is, they're lying. They lied about Hillsborough. This is referring to Hillsborough. But this is the pattern that's been going on with these people for generations. Okay? And it's continued to our generation, and we are the generation to end this madness. Because you cannot kill millions, thousands, hundreds of people and get away with it in the way that these people are doing, so that they can live sipping champagne and pina coladas wherever they are. All right? This is proof that the evidence that I'm showing you, because there was how many bundles? 1, A, B, C, D, E, F. Amount of bundles that I put together with all the evidence, and I took it before the courts. This was actually after I won before the Lord Justices. I'll show you that in a second. But when I went to court, all of this evidence was removed. It says, I here forward you 6 bundles marked as A, B, C, D, E, F, previously before the Court of Appeal. Let me make it bigger so you can see it. Attached to my first witness statement on 11th of January 2005. Sorry, I'm so tired. I will also forward relevant documents from the court file, i.e. letters to Blackburn, January 2006, Chadwick, which was the Lord Justice I won before, and also affidavits dated the 22nd of February 2006. I've got so many affidavits. They haven't done one. That's why I advise you to always do affidavits, because it's under the penalty of perjury. You know, not one of these people have been able to create one witness statement to defend anything that I'm saying here. So this nutcase who's coming forward, let's go to court. This is all theatre. That's all he can do, is lie and deny, and smear. Because he knows that once the truth really hits the fan, which it's doing, he's going to see the inside of a prison cell, if not a noose. Because what he's dealing with is capital punishment. You know, I know the UK doesn't do it, but there are exceptions. There should be exceptions where people murder people en masse to cover up their criminality. That is punishable by capital punishment. And that's what these people are facing, and that is why they're going around smearing my name. Keep my name out of your mouth. Tell the truth. Admit what you've done and do a public apology. I want a public apology from you, Richard Hanna, and every single one of you that has involved me in this shit. Okay? I'm not your slave, and we are not your slaves. Okay? You'll give back the money you've stolen from me, and you'll put the truth into the mainstream media. You don't put the truth, it's coming out anyway. Alright? Save yourselves, those of you who are in the mainstream media, who didn't actually know that this was going on, who didn't actually have any direct party to it, who have been compromised in one way or another to keep this going. Wherever you are, whatever department you are in, come forward now. This is the time to come forward to put this to an end. Okay? You cannot have killing on the scale that these people are killing and it be acceptable. It's not acceptable. Okay, this is the court proceedings that I took myself, as you can see. 5th of August 2004 in the Chancery Division, Chancery Chambers. All of these people's names are here. Alright? And it's got details of the claim. Does your claim include issues of Human Rights Act 1998? Yes. Okay. So I'm just showing you now, quickly speeding through because of time. Okay, I didn't show you the full document because it was blown up. But just to show you, it was in the High Court Chancery Division, and the claim number, reference number is HC04CO2565. Okay? So when you see Richard Hanna's right, let's go to court, you'll see it's been in court. Why didn't you show up? Because you couldn't defend it. That's why. This is a document from the court showing that there was no acknowledgement and no defense. Okay? This is the proof that they had no defense and they owe me, it's now more than £7 trillion. That's what all this filth is about. Okay, let me make it bigger so you can see it for yourself. Oops. I want my money. Can you see that? No acknowledgement, no defense. September 2004. This is my case. These are the defendants. And this is what is behind all the targeting. The defendant may pay an amount of money into the court to satisfy your claim. This is called payment in satisfaction. The court will notify you of the payment, and you will have to decide whether to accept the amount offered. This is what the choices that he had and they had, okay? And they've chose to carry out carnage to keep it all covered up. All right? So don't play games with people. Pay my money. I shouldn't have had to go to court. You know you're guilty. With this, all this evidence, and he's still coming with the lies. Still coming with the lies. This is how brazen and no shame this man has. You have no shame for yourself. Okay? You would never tolerate this if I did this to you. This is another document which was part of the case. You see clearly here, particulars of claim in intellectual property for infringement of copyright, Supreme High Court Chancery Division. There's my name, Charles 7, and these are all the people, all the criminals that were involved. And it shows the claimant, Charles 7, is the owner of copyright in artistic works consisting of 3 different sets of health, beauty and fitness documents, all part of an at-home with concepts, lifestyle multimedia production package. Copies of these documents are attached hereto, with claimant exhibit bundles marked as CS1, with the copy of the claimant's autobiographical book and movie manuscript with joint owner called Christine Agnew entitled The Walk. Now, that was what Tamsin Allen stole. As I told you, I went to her about the case. This script was on a copyrighted on the floppy disk which she stole, and she ended up selling that and joining the bandwagon of literally terrorizing me for my productions. Okay? This is another document that shows that the court received all of the evidence, which is all marked on this. Okay, I'm going to try to make it quicker now. This is Tamsin Allen, who stole my script, became the lawyer for the Leveson inquiry. He became the Leveson inquiry's victim's lawyer, but really, meanwhile, she's the one that's carrying out the crimes. This is the double thing that they have going on. So because they're lawyers in this crime syndicate, they're actually doubling. They're pretending to be the victims' lawyers, but they're the ones, the victims don't know that these are the actual people carrying out the crimes. So she goes in there to make sure that everything is blocked. Okay? This is the copy of the script that was stolen by Tamsin Allen that I just showed you. And everything on this script turned up, sold all around the world by Tamsin Allen. Okay? And ever since then, they've put a whole operation to continuously steal from me like I'm some sort of a cash cow. As they refer to me as the golden goose. I'm not your golden goose. I'm not your slave. You're going to have to pay up every single penny that you've stolen from me and give me a public apology, and also the public a public apology. All the families of the people that you've murdered, you're going to have to do that. Okay? And this is not going to be fixed until you do. And we're not going to stop until you do. Okay, this is the copy of the script of mine that appears on the front cover of a TV newspaper. Again, this is March 2005. Okay, running up to the London bombings. Alright? This is my script on the front cover of a magazine. What's this cover called? News of the World. News of the world. Ding, ding, ding. Isn't that the people who's been terrorizing Brian Harvey as well? Okay. Then you see my script, The Walk, new. But when she saw they were racketeering with my intellectual property, my multimedia platform, she stole this script and sold it all over the place to join in and jump on the bandwagon so that she could get rich. That's what you're dealing with here. A filth mess. This is Jeffrey Beinman of Beinman and Partners, who works with Tamsin Allen. Alright? This man was made a sir, and he was knighted on the back of this corruption. This is his way of trying to keep himself from facing prison. Alright? He's still running, targeting, fake smear campaigns, gang stalking, racketeering, abuse, torture, slave trading, global terrorist crimes from inside his corrupt law firm, Beinman and Partners. And I'm going to show you proof. This is what you call terrorism in plain sight. Beinman and Partners. Terrorism Act 2006, new offences. They're telling you they're doing new offences. They're showing it to you right in your face. Right in your face what they're doing. Terrorism remains high on the political agenda because they've put it there. Okay? They're staging it in one department with James Manson, and then these people are actually putting it on their website to make it appear that they are just talking about what's happening in the public, when meanwhile these are the people actually carrying out the terrorism. You think it's a joke? So here you see they're carrying out their terrorism, and they're actually putting it on their website, and they're making themselves specialist defense lawyers working within the field of terrorism cases, because they are the terrorists. So this is the way they protect themselves. This is the front cover of Evening Standard, showing that the 7/7 bombings, that the mother of this man who was killed, basically the newspaper hacked my son's phone. They hacked everybody's phone, because the criminals that are carrying out the crimes are monitoring the victims. This is what GCHQ is all about. They're monitoring victims to know who knows what. Okay, here's the person who runs that site. Again, part of the 7-Gate crime ring. Jeffrey Beinman. And he has been given an honorable title on the back of basically doing atrocities on the train and framing other people for it. This man should be locked up immediately. All of these people, but you, the public, have to demand it. You have to start getting busy with the hashtags and blasting them. Take this video and blast the hashtags all over the place and expose this devil. Okay? This is the inside of the train that they blew up with all their props. You can see the date, 7th of the 7th, 2005. This is inside the train with all the props to blow it up, to make it look like it was Muslims, but it's actually a theatre production. This is how wicked and evil the people you're dealing with are. Okay? This ain't no joke. This is very serious, and you need to take it seriously. Blast this video all over the world. This is after they blow up the bus on Russell Square, and pay attention to Russell Square. Outright terror, bold and brilliant. This is what they've put on the bus to show you that it was all staged. This, which is written on their con jargon on the glossary, where they do theatre to make it look like real life. This is what's going on, people. Outright terror, bold and brilliant. It was bold, but it wasn't brilliant. To murder people like that is not brilliant. You're sick. You need help. Okay, so look what it says. Police believes there have been 7 blasts. Okay, Russell Square. That's what it says here. Russell's. Okay, Russell Square. You see that? That's flagging up Russell's. Okay, this is a game they're playing with you in plain sight, and they've been playing it for a long time, but now it's time to end it. See how sick this is? See how wicked this is? Here we see in plain sight, promotion, crime wave in 2005. Now showing on a TV near you. This is how brazen and sick these people are. There's no escaping it this July on PMZ. So basically they set up all the terrorist attacks all over and make sure that it's on that screen everywhere. And you'll see NTL available on cable, satellite, digital, terrestrial, and it should say NTL somewhere on this publication. It should actually, but they're all involved. There it is, NTL channel. Okay, they had it syndicated. This is how sick we're talking about. This is all while I was in hiding. The case was supposed to come up exposing them, and this is what they engineered. Crime Wave airs every night from the 7 p.m. throughout July. This is what you call Operation Mockingbird. In plain sight. If this is not a hangable offence, I don't know what is. This was all part of my court case. As you can see, these are all the people, the court received the documents, and this was the case that I won. So when you see that Richard Hanna, make sure you let him know that you're not tolerating it. Enough with the lies. Let's make it bigger so that you can all see there ain't no lies going on here. I don't deal with lies. See his name here? That's why he's going round smearing me. But your game is up. Your game is up. If you don't know that by now, you need to know it. Because the world is seeing you for what you are. Stop your evil. Stop it now. This is the bus that they blew up on Russell Square, where the poster says, outright terror, bold and brilliant. Let me make it bigger. Oops. That's as big as it's going to go. But there you have it. This is the carnage that they did. And it's all theatre, just like one of their movies with Bruce Willis or Idris Elba, who played Richard Hanna in Grenfell Tower, Dark Tower, Lord Grenfell. Okay? I'm sure these actors don't know what they're participating in. But these actors have to think twice before they take up scripts because they're participating in a crime against humanity on mammoth proportions. Here is the proof that Virgin Media have been paying the police. They've been paying the police and Scotland Yard for forever to make sure that there's no justice anywhere. This is what is going on. This is why there's no investigations. This is why all these people are able to continue their trail of terror and destruction. Because they're paying bribes to keep it all under the covers. This is proof of Helen Alexander, another identity fraud. She changed her identity, as I showed you in her business card. After I won the case, she changed her identity to remove that she was working at the BBC and Scottish media groups who changed their name to Scottish TV to escape prison for crimes against humanity. It says Helen Alexander began her career publishing at Faber and Faber before moving to the Economist Group. Now, the Economist Group is who put the tarot cards signaling that Grenfell Tower was going to be burnt down. Her. At the same time, they did a shooting in Alexandria for her. She was managing director of the Economist Intelligence Unit from 1993 to 1997 and chief executive of the organization until 2008. I'm so sorry, I can't even get my words out. When she stepped down to become the first woman president at CBI, Britain's leading trade body. What is she trading? She's trading stolen intellectual property and people. This is what she's been trading. Human trafficking. This is what this woman has become the head of. That's why I'm telling you, they're the head of the deep state. She's the president of it. You don't get higher than that. This woman changed because she moved into the intelligence agencies after being found guilty. She changed her identity. Then she went in to run all the crime syndicate and run all the false flag terror, all the slavery operations coming from from Britain, the UK. This is what she's been doing. Now, because we've exposed her, she's pretending to be dead. She ain't dead, right? She was falsely awarded globally for globally racketeering my stolen work. Just like Richard Hanna and all the rest of them. Okay, so this is the list of the Bilderberg meeting that took place in 2013. At the top it says Bilderberg Group. Anyway, here she is, Helen Alexander. She's one of the chairmen, so it means that she's one of the head key speakers. Proof that she's been hiding behind the Bilderberg Group to conceal her horrific crimes against humanity. This is what's going on. This is what is going on. You'll see all these Bilderberg people who are part of the crime syndicates are all part of this Bilderberg Group. This is what's happening. This company here was the insurance company for Grenfell Tower, right? Connected to her directly. On top of it, when they were going to burn down that tower, they changed it to a Protector Forreskin insurance company to ensure that they specialized in human casualties. That was 3 months before they burned the tower down. Now, if you go to the front cover of the Economist Group newspaper, magazine, or whatever it is, you will see that there's a tarot card reading on it showing that a tower is going to be burnt down before Grenfell Tower happened, because this woman was behind it. Let's move on. This is a stolen concept that they gave to David Beckham to promote. Okay? It was my stolen concept that they gave it to David Beckham because he has a number 7 on the back of his thing. So they thought, okay, we'll be able to get away with that. We'll rope him in. And he was pulled in to pull this concept together. But again, this is one of my stolen works. This is how they roll. They get famous people. They give them my stolen work and promote it into the public. It's been done time and time and time and time and time again over the last 15 years. Okay, whether he knows or not that this is going on, I don't know. I don't want to say he actually knows, because they'll just tell him, we want you to promote something, and he'll promote it. He won't ask any questions. He'll just ask how much he's getting paid to do it. This is vans outside my house. I've shown you these before, but this shows you the kind of psychological operation that they're doing to try to destroy me. In other words, we're going to destroy you. 777 demolition. In other words, we're going to destroy you. Why? Because I want to be credited and paid for my work. Because I don't want people murdered. Are you serious? You're insane. You're absolutely insane. but thank you for the evidence, because every single thing that you've done to me is documented, okay? So you've just given me evidence to make sure that you go to prison where you belong. These were the covers that I showed you earlier, but these are the actual covers so you can see properly now. This was these are both 2004, and as I said, it's Helen Alexander's company that produced these. But as they do their crimes, they put it on the front cover. So this is when they sold my work, and this is when they began their racketeering with my work, and they were all getting rich off it. Okay, get rich quick, and then they so glorifying the situation that they were brazen about it. Here again you see Helen Alexander's real identity. This is the real Helen Alexander, changed her identity to escape prison and conceal global thefts and organized crime and staging global TV production false flag terrorism. There you see her. Everything I say to you is facts, okay? So don't let anybody write any lies about me anyway. If you see them, you call them out, because you know they're a criminal involved in this filth. This is proof that after the Paris attacks, the IP address was found to be a Virgin Media. That was in the Paris attacks in November 2015. This is after Charlie Hebdo. So Charlie Hebdo was January 2015. This is November. Okay. Thanks to the reader who identified the IP addresses as belonging to a block of addresses assigned to Virgin Media. Okay? So that shows you it's them. It's the same crime syndicate who did the Paris attacks. And Helen Alexander had her offices in Paris and also in Washington, America, and also in India, as well as the UK. Right? So you need to understand what's going on here and know that what I'm telling you is facts. So here you see Paris attacks reported on Wikipedia and Twitter before it happened with Virgin Media's IP address. And let's look at the date. It's the 11th of the 11th of 2015. Remember, it was the 11th of the 11th when they took me to the NTL facilities to rob me. That's another signaling there. These are all the crime reports to the police. All of these that you see are all metropolitan reports to the police. Evidence, witnesses, and they're all ignored. Okay, so this is another mock fest, Operation Mockingbird production. Bagging up in your face, they know that they're psychopaths. And they put 7 psychopaths. This is when I started working with Tony Farrell to do the Farrell report. They got this man called Colin Farrell, and you can see they've highlighted Farrell there, because this is during the time that Tony Farrell was doing the report. And to put it in our face, this is what they're using the mainstream media for. Not to tell the truth, to have a little game and then laugh on the murdering of innocent people. This is what they're using the media for. That's why we have hashtag mainstream media is the enemy of the people. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that everybody in there is wicked, but everybody in there has to toe the line and tell lies. Okay? Lies to the world while people are being murdered by these people en masse. We're talking about mass genocide of snuff movies, one after the other. And it's become normal to these people. They've desensitized themselves to accept this as a way of life. It should not be acceptable. It is not acceptable. In no society is doing what these people are doing acceptable. And it's up to you people to stop it. If you're watching this and you're actually seeing all this evidence and you're not taking part in actually bringing it to an end by exposing this, reporting on it, and bringing it to the spotlight, you're part of the problem. You become part of the problem. When you do nothing, when good people just watch all this is happening and seeing people being murdered en masse, horrifically, like in Grenfell Tower, and 7/7 bombings and 9/11 and all the rest of it, and you're allowing these people to just get away with it. You become complicit. So let's get active here. All right, let's bring this to an end. Everybody in the media, it's up to you now to be the heroes of the people and turn this around, which you have the power to do. Everybody who's got a network or a YouTube channel or whatever channel you've got. If you've got a Facebook page, I know people are being blocked from posting on these videos on Facebook, but you can report on it. You know, re-upload it to your own channels so that it goes viral. Okay, I know it's a long video, but it's a video that is crucial. We're talking about saving people from being murdered, any more people from being murdered by these people, because they're sick. This is the back of the building where they burnt down, opposite where I live. So this is the back side of, you can see the building is burning down on the 27th of February 2013, while Tony Farrell was doing the Farrell report exposing all of this. They burnt the place down. And after they burnt the place down, as I've shown you before, I'm going to show you again. This was plastered all around, letterboxes all around where the building they burnt down. This is how blatant. And it shows you from TV Strictly Come Dancing, burn the floor. In other words, this is to show you that it was them that did it. Okay? This is crime upon crime upon crime upon crime upon crime that these people have committed. Okay? This is a serious situation. If you can't see it, then something is wrong with you. This is 120 firefighters outside of my house. Outside of my house after they burnt the building down. This is before Grenfell Tower. Okay? You need to understand what these people are engaged in. There's my house here. This was the building opposite here. The picture I just showed you was the back side of this building. And then the poster was put up in this area here to show you that it was them that did it. What more proof do you need? Shut that Richard Hanna down. Let him know that we do not want any more of his evil. We've had enough. We've had enough. He's had 15 years of terror on my back, okay? 15 years of actually enslaving innocent people, targeting innocent people all around the world who were being tortured. All right? This is what is going on. And you people need to stand up for humanity and stand up for future generations by putting an end to it, by bringing this to the surface. Okay, I'm just one person. Okay? If this is happening to me, can you imagine what's being done to the millions of other people that are being targeted right now? This is not acceptable. I've shown you before this that the police already know what's going on. A lot of these police officers have been compromised. They can't talk the truth. They feel they can't, but you can. You can. Take courage. All you people in the media, take courage. All you people that are in the government, where's Jeremy Corbyn, the savior of the people? Why isn't he speaking up? David Lammy, all of these people. David Lammy is supposed to have family or friends in Grenfell Tower that got murdered. Where's he? Where's all of these people? Okay, so I'm going to sign out. Okay, before I just sign out, I want to show you this because this shows you that Judge, Lord Justice Chadwick and Sir Peter Gibson, and this is my case, when I came out of hiding and Justice Blackburn removed my case from the court list, it was these judges that ruled in my favour on the 2nd of May 2006, and you'll notice there's a 666 on this document. Okay. That it's ordered that the claimant's application for permission to appeal and an extension of time be granted, application to rely on further evidence is granted, and that the appeal be allowed. That means I won. And that the order of Mr. Justice Blackburn, who tried to bury my case, is set aside. It should say on the other page, it says set aside, but that's just the first document. So basically, it showed that I won in 2000 when I came out of hiding. Then the case went before Justice Pumphrey, which is on the courtroom audios, and I'm going to link it in the description so that you can watch it. It's only 20 minutes long. If I put it in here as well, again, it's going to be a long video. But on that video, I need you to listen to what the judge says about Richard Hanna, because he says clearly that Richard Hanna, that summary judgment is against him, and that he was supposed to pay me my damages. I shouldn't have had to go through all this in the courts, just like I'm in the courts now with Genesis, and I'm going to show you Genesis Housing, because they have been complicit in allowing these people to terrorize me where I live. And that is what the case is that is going on in the courts currently. Now, I shouldn't have to go to court because these people know what they've done to me. They should have settled this outside of court, but they put me through the court proceedings, which I won. And even when I win, they don't want to acknowledge what has happened. Okay? Even when there's courtroom audios, he's still got the cheek to write all over Twitter and all over the YouTube channels, people's YouTube channels, which are bigging me up to make it look like I'm some sort of a liar. He is the liar. That is his religion. He is a liar. He's a pathological liar and he's a murderer. Okay? And he, in his own words, we've got emails of him bragging that he's an international terrorist and that he laughs about it. We've got emails of him doing that. I've got videos of him talking about murdering me on his radio show. Okay, this is all public, out in the public. Okay, so don't come with any more lies here. All right, this shows, here you are, here's your name here. Don't say let's go to court when you've already been taken to court and you should be in prison. If you get a life sentence, you're lucky. If they don't execute you straight away, because your crimes are not just in the UK, they're already all in different countries. So we're talking about capital punishment. The Americans can bring capital punishment. All the different countries where capital punishment exists, you can receive that, because this is just in the UK. But your crimes are international. And as you've bragged yourself, you're an international terrorist who frames innocent Muslims for your own crimes. Okay? Now, you know what you've done to me is wrong. You know what you've done to innocent people is wrong. Somewhere in your conscience, you must know it's wrong. That's the reason why you're writing all these lies everywhere. If you didn't have no conscience, you wouldn't write nothing. Okay? You wouldn't try to pervert the public's awareness to make it look like you're some innocent person who I'm exposing. No, I don't expose innocent people who have done me no wrong. I don't do people wrong who have done me no wrong. You are doing people wrong that have done you no wrong. That's the problem. Okay? And we want it to stop. You have to go back to your house, sit down and have a good look at yourself and recognize that what you've been doing for 15 years is the wrong path. It's not too late to change that path and ask for God's forgiveness and mercy upon you. But you have to come to the conclusion it's time to recognize that the jig is up, all of you in the crime ring. Now, I'm calling upon every single person who watches this video, everyone. I'm calling upon your conscience to blast it everywhere and let people know what's going on so that we can see the end of this terror, reign of terror. We can claw the money back so we can start putting some healing into society, making some positive TV shows with not the devil sign all over it, but some loving, positive images for young people so that we can rescue. Where are those young people? Where are all the children being kept? There are witnesses saying there's children on the ground. Where are they? You know where they are. Start telling us the truth so we can end this nightmare. It has to end now, okay? No more. No more abuse and no more evil, okay? And that's me signing out.